So here's another battle. And as it turns out, the other battle I displayed with Claus was he's actually rank 17 in the arena currently. So he was quite an opponent. And so we're just gonna wait for the LDF. And there's the LDF. And we're gonna see what else she drops. Yeah, this is very typical. They usually just drop an LDF and sometimes missionary. The other one with double LDF, that was a surprise. Not very common. And so we're just gonna immobilize. Then we're gonna give a booster for the Mystic, just like before. And I do this just because it's worked consistently. As you notice, I have more wins and losses. And I don't use all my mana because he could drop, for example, Crystal, which makes all the units vulnerable, or he can drop something that poisons all the mages and priests. Oh, and so Mystic, it's a pretty good move of her. Very good. Yeah, and the thing is, once you start ranking pretty high, you have people with R5, which pretty much stands that what it means is basically they have their skill level at the maximum. I believe 4 damage for Marcia is the maximum. So we're going to use a lot of Inspire right now. And at this point, there's no need to protect because they have enough health. And we've removed LDF. So I typically protect that unit that is very weak. In this case, it seems to be probably the top Flame Warden. However, the Clown is pretty valuable in that it does splash damage. So I would probably protect the Clown over the Flame Warden. And we pretty much wiped all his units. This is why the clown is very important, because it does splash damage. And again, you see Kenny, or Kenwich as they call him. He's pretty built. He's at R3. Typically people have him R2. That you'd be lucky enough to get him to R4, R5. And there goes the clown. I'm tempted to use the Inventor, however, it's a high cost mana, so that means that it won't give me much mana to do much of anything else. However, I think in this case, I'm probably going to use just the Black Wizard in combination with probably the Rupiki. And it's going to lower the attack of the Black Wizard. So now he's no threat, or not much of a threat. It would be in his best interest to eliminate the Flame Warden at the very top. But with the units he has right now, he's not able to. Of course, he's going to drop a unit that can contribute damage. And there goes the Flame Warden. Lucky for me, I have a Peepa that is pretty built. It's an R4, and that's going to give a lot of boosters. And so then we're ready to attack. The composition seems to be good. Probably would have been wiser to protect the Peepa, but I was distracted. It's okay, we can make a comeback. The problem is the Repeat is going to move forward, and so the LVF is going to be able to move and attack. So I think here we might use the Sugarbomb. So we'll go ahead and use Sugarbomb. Bring down the Black Mage. Lower the LVF's attack. Well, actually, there was no need for that because obviously the Black Wizard has more damage than the LVF, but nonetheless, Rupiki has a lot of HP, so it's good to have her on the board. And so you'll notice that he's not using OS mana as well. This is very, very typical of high players, which will wait to see what you play or what happens on the board before they start dropping units. I think it helps to be conservative in the amount of units you drop and when you drop them. So Hercule could possess a threat if he's not wiped next turn, because the Black Wizard and the Sugarbomb will move forward, and that leaves an opening. Yeah, more so with that protection and healing. I think that's what he's going for. However, he just is gonna basically give me mana for that killing. And since Rapik is practically useless at this point, I mean, she's pretty much weak, I will use Crystal and to collect that mana. Typically, Canwich is safe for the very end when a unit is near, one of your units is near attacking the captain. But because we're in need of some damage, we're going to go ahead and do this, and then use Jimmy to protect himself. Oh, well, there you go. I ran out of time, but it's doing it now. And the computer does a pretty good job, actually, at picking what the right step to do. However, it's not the smartest, but still, it does a pretty good job. And so this unit right here, he's a very concerning because he has a lot of damage, and as you've noticed, he practically killed my units. And thankfully, we still have a lot of their units invulnerable. So dropping this unit, the inventor, should kill or weaken the enemy's unit significantly. I don't have Marcia at skill 5 or R5, but nonetheless, this is pretty heavy damage, and probably not even needed, but we'll go ahead and use it, and we're going to attack. And now the crystal, or the maiden, is by herself, and that's kind of worrisome because she does a lot of inspire, and, well, I don't know if he's playing it conservative. I think at this point he's probably ran out of units, but sometimes people can be a little bit tricky. Just in case, I'm going to go ahead and add protection to the inventor because he is the most valuable unit right now on my side. And we're going to see what happens. And there's one of those other units again. A lot of people hate this unit with a passion, actually. They've nerfed him significantly, but apparently he is still pretty powerful. He'll need to block all 3 lanes in order for me not to do any damage. And, okay, he's got 2. He needs 1 more. And there it is. And so I'm going to go with the shuffler, or quick shuffler, because he's the most powerful unit on her side. And since I have protection, he can only. Well, there you go. I mean, he has he has quite a bit of units in reserve. We might draw on this one. And so we did, but he, would have won otherwise.